When it comes to trying to get your avoidant ex back into your life, would you like to listen to one of the most BS pieces of advice that is commonly given to anxious people trying to reunite with their ex?
A reconnection happening. Avoidant exes are among the most difficult to get back because they require the one thing that most of our clients kind of lack, and that's patience. You have to be extremely patient. And if you aren't prepared to be patient, well, then you're in kind of for a rude awakening.
Wrong. This is wrong on so many levels. Anxious people are being manipulated every single day. We're being told that we're the ones who don't have any patience, when in reality, we are the ones willing to work on relationship issues and stick by our partner when life hits a rough spot. Hello friends, my name is Maria, and for almost 20 years I bought into the lies coming from people who did not have my best interest at heart, but who were more than happy to tell me precisely what I needed. People like this guy tell us that we are in for a rude awakening if we don't toe the line and stay quiet like good little boys and girls. But I have been around long enough to see the disturbing truth when it comes to avoidant personalities. So if you're ready to learn how I know it's your avoidant ex who's gonna wake up and smell the coffee, then grab a bottle of nail polish and let's talk. So, you're clicking on videos telling you that you need to go into no contact, and if you break no contact with your avoidant ex, then you are the one who's in for a rude awakening. If you reach out to your ex because you miss them and you care about them, and the breakup happened seemingly out of nowhere, well, you just don't have any self-control. These videos completely gloss right over the fact that these videos are designed to keep you anxious and keep your ex on your mind so that you are triggered to reach out to them, so that then you feel like crap all over again and you click on another one of their videos. And they also do not address the fact that your avoidant ex a lot of times is breadcrumbing and doing things to you to trigger you to continuously reach out to them. Yet, all of the blame is placed on you. You cared enough to wish them a happy holidays, you're the mess up. I'm only here to encourage you to stop doing these things like reaching out to your ex so that you can heal and move forward and have your own life and your own marriage and your own kids and your own fun dating experiences without having to feel like you need to be patient for someone who is emotionally neglecting you. I mean, really think about it. Patience for emotional neglect. It sounds like a charity for avoidance. And if it was a charity, it would fail because nobody wants to buy into that. So why are you? Why do you feel like you have to buy into this BS? Well, past trauma and videos like this. And what does he care? He has a partner. He'll be just fine. And you could argue, well, Maria, you have someone in your life too. Yeah, but the difference between us is I've lived through this stuff and he hasn't. And while we both probably know a lot about avoidant attachment styles, I'm not going to treat you like a failure simply because you reached out to somebody that you loved. I have experienced a blindsiding traumatic breakup with a dismissive avoidant. I have experienced what it's like to be in relationships with these kinds of people, and he has read about it. And while there is nothing wrong with learning and educating yourself, you can click on these videos and learn a lot about avoidant attachment style. I mean, every time I click on a video, he's going into all of the research that he's done, and knowledge is power. But please do not take advice on how to navigate a situation from someone who has never actually lived it. They don't have real life experience. And I know it's tempting because he provides a lot of educational material in a very flashy editing style. And, you know, look at him. what a super cutie. But welcome to the other half, where we know attraction is not just about looks. We also have to take care of the inner half. Because if you are someone who is used to allowing other people to be critical of you, it's important that you learn to recognize when the criticism is genuine. Is it coming from someone who has your very best interest at heart? Or is it coming from someone who's never been through what you've been through, and yet they have a lot to gain from you? I don't believe for a second that he's ever been through a breakup with a dismissive avoidant, because I don't know how you could go through something like that, accept money from people to try to help them get the avoidant back in their life, and still sleep at night. The reason I say this is because I also do encouragement phone sessions where I try to help people build themselves up and encourage them not to contact their ex and not to try to get their ex back through using this as a manipulation tactic, but to help people realize that they are worth so much more. And when I'm on these phone sessions, you wouldn't believe some of the stories that I've heard about the mistreatment and abuse people are receiving from their avoidant partners and their dismissive avoidant exes. Some of this stuff is so bad. It's like you can't make it up. And you know that these other ex-back coaches, they're also getting the same stories from their clients who are suffering and desperate, and yet they continue to take their money and try to help them get their ex back, because they say, you know, getting your ex back might not be the best idea, but you're an adult and it's your money and it's your choice, and it's not my business to judge. I'm just in the business of helping you get your ex back. Now, these guys have been doing this a lot of years, and I'm sure they know all the human behavior manipulation tactics, and they know a lot about how to influence people. I mean, obviously. But just because they're capable of helping someone get their ex back, does it mean that they should? I'm capable of punching kittens, but does it mean that I should? Or that it's okay if I do? Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. The Lord gave me the gift of being able to form a fist, and I'm simply living out my calling. Wrong. And if you do manage to learn some things to get your ex to give you some attention for a little while, how do you come out of this whole experience feeling? How do you feel after you've handed someone money to try to help you manipulate someone into spending time with you? In essence, it's the same as paying for love, paying for attention, paying for dates, paying for friendship. It's not fulfilling, and it's not the same feeling as knowing that someone has freely chosen you. And as a side note, because we are talking about ex-back coaches today, you know, I know that people love to get their jabs in at Corey Wayne, but there is one piece of advice that I decided to integrate into my life, and I'm so glad that I did. Corey talks a lot about going on dates with people who you know want to be there with you, and they're excited to be on the date with you. And he says once you start dating people like this, you will have so much more fun. And he is right. And I'm glad that I began to do this, and I'm sorry that I didn't do it sooner. But you know, once you have truly moved on, you will look back and you will finally see the disturbing truth. You never felt good enough, and the entire time you were so much better than how you were being treated. You lost a lot of time on someone who wasn't worth it. You'll look back and realize you don't miss your avoidant ex. You miss the time that you lost on them, and you're gonna wish that you had it back. You begged and pleaded and lost your dignity in front of someone who was a cheater, an abuser, a loser. You just didn't realize it at that time. But it's gonna be okay, and I believe that your avoidant ex is the one who's going to get the rude awakening, because they're gonna find out that your feelings have changed, even after everything that you said at the time. I know that changing feelings shouldn't come as a shock to a dismissive avoidant, because they make it seem like people can lose their feelings on a dime. I know it seems that way, but they didn't. They just made decisions out of fear and then suppressed their feelings for you. That's completely different. So they see you. Now you're happy because your feelings have changed. Your goals have changed. The kind of people that you want in your life has changed. I mean, I can't even sit here and honestly say that I hope someday my exes find love. And I don't mean to say that out of a bitterness like I hope they don't find love. It's just, they are not my life anymore. They're on their own now. Just like after the breakup, they didn't care that you had to pick up the pieces and deal with everything on your own. You might be on your own right now too, but I promise you, you will get through this and it's going to be okay. So yeah, it's not that I hope they don't find love. I just don't care if they do or not. Get married, don't get married. These decisions don't affect my life anymore. Now who's the one who's indifferent? And there's gonna come a day where you feel like this too. And your indifference is definitely going to be a rude awakening for someone who never wanted to close that door on you. For someone who needed you there in the background because they could never really make a decision about you. They're gonna hear that door slam shut, and it might stir up some anxiety in them, and they might be the ones to reach out finally. And for once, you don't feel like you owe them an answer, a response, or an explanation for the decisions that you make. You have a very calm conviction in your silence because you remember back when you needed them the most, they left your text on read. If this video helped you, so will this one. My name is Maria Adriana. You did not have to live my life, but I certainly hope you can learn something from it. As always, thank you for visiting The Other Half.